What's up, y'all? It's another episode of Follow the Blueprint. I am the Blueprint, and this is my lovely wife,
Misbehaving.
and we are back. It's story time. We're doing story time a little different today. I'm doing it with her, obviously. You see us together. But before we get to that, we have hit the 500 subscriber mark.
Woohoo!
Yes, and as I promised, there will be a $500 mystery box giveaway once we hit that 500 subscribers, and I am about to give that box away. But I thought I would just be able to give it to a random subscriber until I realized that YouTube doesn't let you see who all is actually subscribing to you. That you get an alert for certain people that subscribe. I don't know how they judge or whatever, but anyway, to get the mystery box, you got to get in the comments of this video and comment subscribe 500. Comment subscribe 500, 500 subscribe 500. I don't care what you put in the comments as long as it has to do with you being subscribed and you wanting that $500 mystery box. Then I'll be randomly picking someone. I'll announce that on some upcoming vlogs, and that'll be that. The next giveaway will be 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully it won't take as long to get to the 1,000 as it did to get to the 500. Although people are telling me I got to it kind of quick, but you know, it wasn't as quick as I wanted to get to it. But let's get into story time. We got a couple of them. A couple of them are embarrassing. A couple of them are funny, but still embarrassing. but my wife is gonna go first with her story, which is very interesting.
Okay, so my story is a 3-part story, covering a relationship that I had with a guy before I met my husband. So this guy and I have been talking for a while, and we decided to take our relationship to the next level. So I'm at his house, we're in his room. He grabs protection, and then we try to take it further, and the only thing that I hear is, "Aw, man." And I'm like, "What's wrong?" And he was like, it won't go up. And I'm like, "What do you mean it won't go up?" And in my young mind, I was like, "I don't get it." And I was like, I just couldn't understand it, couldn't grasp the concept. And part of me was like, okay, it's me, but no, it can't be me. Look at me. But he kept trying, but it just never worked. So I got up, I left, I went home. A few months. So
nothing happened?
Nothing happened because it couldn't happen.
It didn't work.
It didn't work at all. I mean, it didn't work at all. Nothing could help him.
But what was the us for?
I think he was just embarrassed.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was
a different.
Nah, it was definitely wasn't a different. Nah, most definitely not.
Okay.
So a few months later, he was my prom date, and
was he your prom date?
He was my prom.
He was
my prom date way before that point.
Oh, okay.
Like we're a few years older. He's a few years older than me, so he was 21 and I was 18.
Okay. So he was a rapist and ramp. 21 going to prom.
Yeah, and it's okay. My parents signed off on it. They were okay. They knew I was a good girl.
Right.
I'm a very good girl. But anyway, I feel like this is the most embarrassing thing, and it's something that I know I will never forget, especially because it's prom. So he comes to my house to pick me up. Everything is going great. We're taking pictures. I had a rental car. He drove the rental car to our prom. So we took the pictures. We got in the car. We drove off. Within 10 minutes of us driving off, my mom calls me hysterically. And I'm like...
After you left the house?
After I left the house for prom. So let's say we left the house at 7 o'clock for prom. It's 7:10. My mom was calling me. You know, my mama, she'll call and she got to go through all this other stuff. You know how she is.
She's a little extra.
She's a lot extra. But this particular day, she was way more than extra. She was like screaming. She was just hysterical. But she was like, "This girl done came over here and started stuff." And I'm like, "What girl?" And I'm like, "Mama, I don't know what you're talking about." He was talking. She was like, I I don't want to say his name. I'm gonna call him Q. Q, and that's actually what we called him. Q.
Other than Limp.
Yeah,
Oh,
Limp. Q girlfriend is over here. I said, Q girlfriend? What girlfriend? I am the girlfriend. And she was like, nah, no, you ain't the girlfriend. It's another one. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, okay. And she was like, yeah, she got a baby with her. I'm like, okay.
So it's baby mama.
Oh, it's baby mama.
But
baby
this is kind of like
times
before
3.
baby mama. Oh, okay.
He had 3 kids with the girl. Not 1, but 3. And I know not about one of them. And so my mom was telling me the whole story. The girl had keys to his car. She came, got that car, and drove off.
Wait, so y'all in the rental car?
We in my rental car. He left his car at my house.
So maybe he left it there for his baby mama to come pick it up?
Nah, because he looked shocked.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like,
he didn't know he had the baby mama, or he didn't know?
He didn't know that she knew that he was coming.
To prom.
To prom.
Oh,
but see,
okay.
let me tell you this. The son was old enough to talk and told on his daddy. Told his daddy that mama and daddy got a suit in the car, in the trunk.
Wait, how old was this? You said he was 20. You sure he was 21?
Yeah, he said he was 21.
And
his ID said at the time he was 21 because I had to show his ID in order for him to go to the prom. So we had to have a copy of his ID. So he was 21.
He was 21 with a son that could go in the trunk.
His son saw it in the trunk.
Okay, so
I think
baby
his son was
mama.
probably like 7. It was probably he was about 6, 7, somewhere in there.
Oh, okay.
He had a son kind of early. I think maybe like 15,
Oh, okay,
16,
okay.
somewhere in there. But the son was old enough to tell his mama that Daddy had his suit in the trunk, and that's how she found out. And my sister actually was dating his cousin. So the cousin was at the house at the time, so he basically just tricked off on him, told everything.
Oh,
literally
wow.
told everything. And so we went to prom. My mama kept calling, so I didn't have a really good prom experience.
Yeah.
Because it was just wrecked by my mama calling me, basically. Because I could have been like, okay, whatever.
She could have not called you and just let you have
let me
your
have
prom.
my fun or whatever.
Yeah.
So after prom was done, I was like, we separating. Like, I'm gonna drop you off at home and I'm gonna keep going. He's like, nah, you can't do that because your mama gonna kill me. No, she already gonna kill you. So took it to his house. The girl had left the car at his house. How and why she did that, I don't know, but she left the car in front of his house. He picked up the car and then he drove his car to my house and I drove my car to the house because I'm like, you can't get in here with me.
So why y'all both go back to your house?
He followed me home.
Yeah.
And then, do you know this fool didn't even have enough money to get me something to eat? I'm like, man. Like,
y'all didn't go to dinner after?
No,
So,
I went home. So I was at home 1 o'clock in the morning, prom night. Yeah, I was at home. I didn't get to stay out and have all the fun. But I thank God that actually happened and it separated me from him, because a few years later, he was on the news for killing his baby.
It wasn't one of the babies.
It was not the baby, one of the babies from the same girl. It was a baby from another girl. And this baby was only maybe no more than 3 months old.
Wow.
And he's doing 30 years. 30 years.
You know how to pick them.
But that's basically like the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me. And not to mention, like, almost everybody knew.
I was gonna say
at prom.
People
I
at prom
feel like people didn't know, because I ended up telling one of my friends, and then she
Wow.
had a blabbermouth, and then she told somebody else, and people knew. And I missed the best part though. Like, you know, the part the boys take off your little belt off your leg. I missed that part because my mom kept calling me. So I missed that part. That's the part I wanted to do. Yep, missed that part.
That's correct. Now he's doing 30 years.
Yeah. I should have showed a picture.
You see what happens? No, we're not gonna show a picture. I don't even know if my story is as embarrassing. Well, that was more than embarrassing. That was like embarrassing, sad, and tragic, all in the same story. Mine is kind of lighthearted from that. But mine was just basically me getting caught. But I guess it was embarrassing for me too. It was embarrassing, the whole situation. But anyway, this was pre-existing our relationship as well. I had hair at the time. I've always had like hair from time to time, but this time I had hair. She was my hair braider. And she actually like worked at the daycare it was a home daycare. I live at the home daycare. I won't put too much of the business out there, but she was someone that worked at the daycare. And yeah, I was just getting my hair braided one day, and I guess one thing led to another. We were flirting. And yeah, we kind of ended up hooking up, but in the midst of hooking up, her cousin came in. But didn't really like know what was going on. We were young, so you know how when you're young, it's low key. It's like it almost looked like TV time. Y'all under the, you know what I'm saying? Y'all under the blanket watching TV. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like one of those things. So we sitting down, and the cousin just like sits at the foot of the bed, like we.
Oh my God.
So we don't have any clothes on from like the waist down, so we just like sit there. It's awkward. The cousin is like literally at the foot of the bed, and obviously at some point the cousin is like asking the girl. We actually I didn't go put the nickname that we have for her out there like that, but we had a nickname for her. And her cousin asked her to get up and come somewhere with her. I think like out of the room or to another room or something like that. And she was like trying to hint at her like she couldn't really get up or whatever. So eventually the cousin ended up just like leaving out of the room on some like I'll be back type stuff. So again, we're young. We're like, okay, well, we're gonna finish messing around when she leaves. She leaves. We get back to messing around. The door opens again. It's not the cousin, it's her mom.
Oh God.
Yeah, so you talk about like awkward, like so her mom.
Did her mom realize what y'all were doing?
Yeah, her mom wasn't like as naive as the cousin. But it gets worse. Like the mom kind of like knew what we were doing. We got the vibe that she knew what we were doing. We stopped what we were doing, obviously, and we just kind of like waited for mom to like go back out of the door. And then I was gonna get up, like put my clothes on and stuff like that. Bam, that happens. I'm up. I'm putting my clothes on. It sounds so crazy, but I can't like find my underwear. And at the time, it was some basketball shorts. It was some And One basketball shorts. I can't really forget this, so I can't really find them. So I'm like pillow up, like trying to find them or whatever. Mom hits the door. So I get into the closet. So now I'm in the closet, like naked from the waist down. Mom's like, where's the guy that was just in here? Like, you know what I'm saying? So
who at?
Yeah, no, she didn't know my name. This was literally my first time like meeting her mom. Like I had been over there. Yeah, I had been over there getting my hair braided like often. Like I said, she would be at the daycare. So we had a relationship like before messing around, but I had never like met her mom. But we always would be in her basement getting my hair braided. It would be late. I would leave out, like, you know what I'm saying? So this was literally my first time like upstairs in her room. It's daytime. It's just like, yeah, it was just so, yeah, it's the cousin coming in and the mom. So anyway, the mom comes back in. I'm in the closet now on some young person stuff because I was just in the room. She knows I didn't leave the house. So I'm in the closet because I can't find my shorts and I don't want to like hop back in the bed. So she just like talks into the closet. She's like, okay, young man. She was like, I need you to come up out of there, get your things, and like get up out of my house or whatever. So I'm like, okay, that's honorable. So she walked. No, that wasn't it. It was even worse because I had to tell her like, I can't come out of the closet. No, I can't come out of the closet until you like leave out of the room. But so that was that. Told her that. She left out of the room. I left. She didn't like make it. She didn't make it more awkward than she had to or anything like that. And then when I ended up coming back, I ended up being properly introduced to her mom and all of that, and it was cool. But at the time, yeah, it was embarrassing.
But y'all was of age, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Y'all had
to be like somewhat adults, basically.
Yeah, we were both 18, I believe. Okay. I believe if we weren't both 18, it was like 17, 18-ish. But yeah, we were old enough. Yeah, we were old enough.
I was cute Christian.
And she had a kid. So yeah, we were about 18. Maybe, yeah, we were about 18, 19, something like that. But yeah. That wasn't my only time getting caught.
But that reminds me of the time that Rich, remember that time Rich pulled that cover off of me?
Oh, he did.
And I was naked.
Yeah, he did. See, playing too much.
Playing too much.
Never doing something under them covers.
So, no. He warned me too. He was like, you know what, you keep on talking, we'll pull that cover off of you. And he
kept talking.
Yeah, I did. I couldn't help it. Snatched it right off of me.
Man, yeah, now that I'm telling that story though, I just thought of 2 other times that I got caught. And so I thought it was only 1 other time. It was 2 other times I got caught in somebody's house. One was by their daddy.
Man, you still alive?
Yeah, I think, but now that I'm thinking about it, we were in high school and she had 2 kids.
Oh.
Yeah, and the way we got caught was kind of similar. Like, it was supposed to be chilling, but it wasn't like really no clothes off type action. It was more like her doing, and Dad kind of like pretty much peeped it and just.
He knew his place and just kept moving.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe he just knew. Not thinking about it as an adult, like you knew your daughter was the word.
My daddy knew I was good and wholesome.
Wholesome. That was you took the word right out of my mouth.
My daddy knew I'm good and wholesome.
Yeah.
Taught me right.
Or what's wholesome backwards? Okay. Yeah.
Watch yourself. Watch yourself.
But the next story is a trick that we played on each other. Who played the best trick on each other? I know hers.
I want to hear yours first.
But I don't quite remember. I know what you said you were gonna tell, but I don't really remember the story. Mine's is I only really got you good one time, and it was epic. It was epic.
See, this is the reason why we shouldn't be together now. Because if you tell that story.
If I tell that story, it's gonna make you look bad.
If it's the story that I think you want to tell.
When we first got together?
Yes,
yeah.
That story.
That's the story. Okay, so look.
I hate that story.
So look, we have been together what, 5-6 months?
No, it wasn't even 5-6 months. It was like a month.
It was the summertime. No, because it was
Are we
summertime.
talking about the same story?
When you left Liberty with Rose?
No, we weren't even together that long. You did that for April Fools.
Okay.
We got together March 3rd. You did that April Fools. We only have been together for like 3 weeks.
Okay. So but yeah, this was fairly so we have been together a month basically, and she was at the condo. Me and my cousins we stayed in the condo together, and I was out with it was actually at the time it was me, my cousin, my best friend Reese. What's up, Reese? I don't know if you remember. It was actually Reese's niece that played the actual trick. But anyway, me and Reese were out.
Both of y'all.
Me and Reese were out. Tina and my cousin and my daughter, who was like a baby at the time. I think she was like
he wasn't even there.
8 months or whatever. So me and Reese ran to the store. While we were at the store, we like, man, we have been talking about playing a trick on Tina with his niece calling her phone like she's my girlfriend and she found the number and all this and all of that. So we like, okay, we could do it now because Tina's at home with the baby. So we know she gotta be there. She can't like overreact or anything like that. So we was like,
you thought I couldn't leave.
It'd be cool. Yeah, we thought she couldn't leave. And because I'm like, okay, no, I don't think my cousin Rose, he wasn't like supposed to be home or anything like that. And this was a quick trip. I remember the trip distinctively. We were just like going to Subway or something like that and coming right back. And so we had his niece. We had Reese's niece call Tina. She played it up really good. She was like a kid at the time too. I don't even like. She played a grown up voice and she played it good, but it wasn't quite the reaction it wasn't like hysterical like. Oh, word, like it's gonna be. I was expecting to get a phone call after that from Tina, like I can't believe this and all this and all that. But it was just like the next phone call. His niece told us like she was calm. She was like, oh, okay, and just kind of like got off the phone. And the next phone call I got was my cousin Rose, who wasn't even supposed to be at the house. And he's like, Tina okay? I'm like, what are you? I'm like, yeah, she okay. What you mean? He's like, well, I just came in and she was like, here's the baby. She's like, here's Liberty, and basically just handed me the baby and left.
Sorry, Liberty, I love you still.
And so we're like, okay, so at this point, like I'm telling Rose, I'm like, oh bro, we just played a trick on her. We had Reese's niece call her like she was another girl and all that and everything. He was like, okay, well she's like super calm about it. She literally just handed me the baby and left. So at the time we're in Chicago. The condo is like on 95th and I just say Western.
Yeah, like 95th and Western.
So the condo's on like 95th and Western. When we met, she was going to Chicago State. So if you know where Chicago State is, it's like 95th and Cottage.
Basically, so I stayed in the dorm.
Yeah, so 95th and Western to 95th and Cottage is like a stupid walk. Like no one will walk. It's like a 10, 15, no, it's more than that. It's like a 10, 15 minute car drive, right?
Probably like, maybe like a 10-minute drive. But
so it's like a 10-minute drive doing like 35, 40 miles an hour. So this is like a 2-hour walk for her to get back to school.
It's like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, so so me and Reese, we get there. I'm like, I asked cuz, I'm like, all right, you cool with the baby and everything? He like, yeah, just y'all find Tina or whatever, cause she left walking. Like so we driving down. She didn't get on the bus though. I think she was just mad.
I know. I didn't get on the bus. I walked to Ashland.
We caught you before Ashland.
No, you didn't catch me. I was at home by the time you called me.
We didn't catch you? See, I don't really remember the story. I know we were driving down 95th. I know me and Reese were driving down 95th trying to find a walk because we knew it was a long walk. So we was trying to find it. Okay, so I remember you did get on the bus.
I walked to Ashland, got on the bus by Walgreens, and then
that's why we couldn't catch you.
The rest of the way. But Vanessa, how you found out where I was at, because I went to the phone, Vanessa told you, because I called Vanessa's like, your friend ain't ish.
Oh yeah, because Rose.
That to me.
Yeah, because Rose was the one that basically like hooked us up, basically, or whatever. So that was crazy, but when I got to talk to her, she found out it was a joke. She laughed.
I ain't found it funny. I didn't laugh at all because I was literally crying because I was so mad. It's like this fool done left me at home with his baby and now he got a girlfriend, because I think the girl was pretending to be Liberty's mom. She was pretending to be Liberty's mom. So she pretended to be Liberty's mom. Okay, and I was just
it was a good prank. I don't remember it. I don't remember but
it was the worst prank ever, and I was mad for a long time.
It was the worst prank ever. Your prom date played a prank. Your prom date was married with 3 kids. Your prom date was married with 3 kids, and then that was a bigger prank than come on now. So
you know what? You ain't even have to bring up old stuff. You do not have to bring up old stuff.
It's story time.
It's cool. It's cool. I ain't gonna trip.
That was a good prank. That was a good, wholesome, early in the relationship prank.
That's a real bad prank to play on somebody early in the relationship. You
almost
never talk to me again.
I was gonna talk to you again.
Only how you end up talking to me that day is because Vanessa called on your behalf.
She wanted something. That's why I
talked to her.
That's why she was over there in the first place.
Started.
That's why she was over there. So it wasn't whatever.
Had all started.
I was gonna talk to her again.
Right.
Or one of her friends.
All right, go ahead and get killed. Right here. This knife behind me, for real.
So what was yours? What was the prank you played on me? Because you ain't never got me, really.
Baby, how come I didn't get you?
They tried all the time. They tried.
Now, this is the only time I ever got you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The only time I ever got you.
If I don't know what you're talking about, it don't count.
Okay. So we lived out west, so we was true West Siders then. I was a true West Sider then.
I was born a true West Sider.
I was a true West Sider then. I was eating Uncle Remus chicken and all.
I turned her into a West Sider.
I was eating Uncle Remus chicken and all.
But Uncle Remus was good. Y'all Chicago, and if you ain't from Chicago, you don't even know what we talking about. But
anyway, so I don't know what came over me at this point in time, but I'm like, he always say I can't prank him, and at the point, and really I couldn't. I could never get him. So I was at home downstairs. We were living in the basement. He went upstairs. This is at Deal House on Kenzie. You went upstairs. So you remember how big our room was? Our room was
the basement, basically. But go ahead.
But we still had an actual room with 4 walls in it. So the room was pretty big for me to like literally lay on the floor. So he went upstairs to get something to drink, and he came back downstairs. I literally laid on the floor on my stomach, And when he walked in the door, I held my breath. And then he was like, bae. And I never said anything. And I continued to hold my breath, and I was taking like little tiny breaths in so that he couldn't see that I was breathing. And then when he touched me, I would just hold my breath completely. And so he was just like, babe, stop playing. I'm like, I didn't say nothing. And I held in my laughter, which is very hard for me to do. And then he started shaking me, but I just went limp on him. And then he turns me over, and I just kind of like was limp like this.
Yeah, it was real dead weight.
It was real dead weight. He picked me, and then he picks me up like behind my back. It was like, babe, wake up, wake up. He kept shaking me, and I didn't do anything. Then he started like literally crying. And
but she got health. It's like she's like, yeah, look, yeah.
I did not have any health issues.
Yes, you did.
I did not have what PCOS. That ain't no health
there was
issue.
Look, whatever.
That's gonna stop me from breathing.
My house was enough.
So he, unfortunately, I don't think he knew how to do CPR, but he started like kind of like pressing on my chest a little bit.
I was trying to see if she was breathing.
Pressing on my chest a little, but not really doing CPR because that would have actually hurt it. And then he started putting his ears up to my mouth to see if I was breathing. And then he literally started crying. And once he started crying, I was just like, let me stop. And I started laughing.
I started crying?
You was crying.
See, yeah, because you can't have nobody dead in the basement.
It would have been your fault.
How would your mom get something to drink? How'd that have been my fault?
Well, that's the only time that I ever got you. And that was way after you had got me when we first started dating.
That's crazy.
Hey, as y'all can see, we had some technical difficulties at the end of story time that I didn't realize until I was getting ready to edit, that the camera had, I guess it had got too hot and went white. But you guys didn't really miss everything. We were just wrapping it up. And I was letting you guys know that actually how we wanted to do the story time was we wanted to let people send emails in telling us stories. They could send them in anonymously, or you can put your name on there. But you can just email the Blueprint 82. That's THEBLVEPRINT 82 at Gmail. And send your stories in. We'll discuss them during story time when me and Tina do them together. Or you can just get in the comments and give us some ideas on what to talk about and stuff like that. So that's cool. However you guys want to do it. Again, I appreciate you guys for the 500 subscribers. Again, getting those comments in this video right here. Comment 500 or subscribe 500. However you want to do it to qualify to win that $500 mystery box. I will see you guys later. Until then, follow the blueprint.